video friends, click on the like button, that is the thumbs up button, press the subscribe button and the bell icon, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram.
So we are riding the F3 and the Brutale 800, and this is a Honda CBR 600RR, and this guy has been revving the nuts out of his bike. Every time he comes across traffic, he'll just rev bomb it, and people move aside. But I don't understand why they don't wear riding gear while riding such a motorcycle. Anyway, stuck in Pune traffic there. He was stuck in Pune traffic. It has been crazy. And looking at these bikes, there was a Pulsar 220 guy who was like also riding aggressively, and unfortunately he hit someone. The bike flipped right now. A blue Pulsar 220. I just hope the rider is safe. But come on guys, if you see super bikes, don't try to chase them. Trust me, the person riding a super bike, he's in another mentality. He's not going to race with you. So right now I am riding this Brutale 800, and I have so much to talk about this bike, but I think I'm just going to keep quiet for the moment, ride it in a bit, and then once I get to an open stretch of road, that's where I'm going to give it the beans and show it to you. But there is a lot of negative for me to talk about this bike, but that we will see later. Bye. Turn on the bike, engine map, we are into sport mode. That's 11,000 RPM, but it's a red line, and honestly there's not much space to open this bike up, but hopefully ahead we will get some space. So the thing is with this motorcycle is that the fueling doesn't seem right. It feels too hard edged. Yeah, baby. The app plays to do the sound test of this bike. So clutch less, downshift into second gear. Actually, let me do a rev bomb. It's just too dark inside here. Downshift to first. Power delivery is too spiky. In normal mode it is spiky, in sport it is more, so it just wants to go. Oh my goodness. Oh, there is no ride quality. There is no suspension setup on this bike. It is so stiff. Anyways, here we are, open road, time to give it the beans. The front wants to lift up all the time, and I just don't understand why these Italian motorcycles are so raw and so extreme. Well, there's a big story behind it, but more on that later. Into the rev limiter. Upshift. Beautiful upshifts with the quick shifter. Works very well both on up and downshift. Here we go, downshift. So for upshifts, your throttle needs to be open, and for downshifts, your throttle needs to be closed. As simple as that. Sounds like an absolute mad maniac, this Brutale 800. So what lies within? Well, this motorcycle is powered by 798cc engine, and if you talk about a Brutale, well, it is absolutely brutal, and hence the name. The front end doesn't give me any sort of feel. What is happening? Absolutely crazy motorcycle. This motorcycle, like, it wants to kill you actually. It just wants to kill you. It is so hard, raw edge, maniac. Power delivery is so spiky. There is good amount of low end pep, but you can't open throttle, because if you do open throttle, you'll be, above that truck right now. That's the kind of throttle it has. It just wants to power wheelie. So there is good amount of traction control settings. There are 8 level traction control, and there are 4 riding modes. So there is normal, which I was riding in the city. Then there is rain, that's for rain, and traction control goes to level 8. Then there is custom, where you can decide how you want the traction control levels to be and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I'm riding in sport, and sport, well, traction control comes to 4 and ABS is to 1, so it has switchable ABS and ABS modes as well. Meanwhile, this engine, well, it's a 798cc engine. Now the power has been reduced from the previous Brutale, which used to produce, hold your breath, 123 HP of power. This one produces 109 HP, so they have reduced power. Meanwhile, the torque output is 83 Newton meters, which has obviously increased. Now 90% of that torque comes in at just 3800 RPM. You can understand or think, what can happen. Just open the throttle in any gear and it lunges forward with so much thrust. It's like it just wants to fly away. That's the kind of thrust this motorcycle offers. Oh my goodness. And well, Brutales are always known to be, absolutely brutal and crazy, but this one is a bit tamed down. It's the easiest of all the Brutales. It's the most tamed of all the Brutales, and yet it is so mad, I kid you not. I mean, every time you open the throttle, whether it's the riding position, whether it's the power performance, whether it's anything, it is just extreme. And not the 200R. I am scared of opening throttle when I'm overtaking someone, because I know if I open throttle too hard, the front wheel will point somewhere. I'll steer, but I won't go anywhere. Honestly, this motorcycle requires you to have a lot of talent to ride. You just can't be like, okay, chill, let me sit on the saddle and open throttle. It doesn't work this way on this one. So here we go. Even in third gear, it wants to lift the front wheel. How crazy are you? Okay, open throttle, not yet. Absolutely mad acceleration. Guys, I have done 270, but this is just mad the way it accelerates. Because firstly, you are facing all the wind. This doesn't have a windscreen, so there's a lot of wind blast. And the engine, well, it's an inline 3-cylinder motor, has that amazing sound, but sound like a tractor lower down. In the mid-range it rumbles, and in the top end it screams. Third gear, open throttle, here we go. Lifting. I mean, there is no front end feel. That's the kind of lift it wants to do. So the suspension setup is 43mm Mazochis at the front. Meanwhile, at the rear we get a Sats monoshock, and both the front and the rear are fully adjustable suspension setups. But unfortunately, it's of no use because the ride is so stiff. It's like you're sitting on a rock. And look at this. I mean, small bumps on the road. This is a motorcycle which makes the KTM Duke 390 look absolutely softly sprung. Quick shifter works really well for both up and down shifts, but the gearbox otherwise with the clutch on the heavier side, it just doesn't work. I mean, the gearbox is so hard and harsh. Getting through shifts is a real pain in the ass. I can see I'm bouncing all over the place. Thankfully, this camera is stabilizing footage, but I know that the ride quality, it's just terrible. I mean, terrible is an understatement. Sounds like a tractor lower down. And this is an inline 3-cylinder motor, and it has 12 valves. And yet, I don't understand why it sounds so rough and gruff. What's with you, MV? So here we have some open road to give it the beans. But more than the beans, you require balls of steel, because a small bump and my goodness, this motorcycle will just go anywhere. But the shifts are so freaking smooth. Every time I want to go through a gear, I know that I can rely on the quick shifter. It just does it so smoothly and so well. The brakes have superb stopping power. So 320mm twin discs at the front, a 220 at the rear, ABS is there, and the tires, they offer extremely good grip. So they are the Pirelli Rosso 3 tires. Excellent grip. This bike gets a single-sided swing arm, and it uses a trellis frame. The ergonomics are pathetic. The foot pegs are rear set. The riding position is such that it's kind of committed. It takes a toll on your shoulders and the upper back. So it's not the easiest of motorcycles to ride. And then this instrument cluster, while it looks nice and stuff, you know, at least better than other MV bikes you have seen, it is just not legible. You don't understand what it says half the time. In the sense that if you want to make some setting changes, it's really very tough. But everything is forgiven once you open the throttle, because it goes like an absolute beast. This motorcycle puts me in big confusion whether to like it or hate it, because there is no middle ground with motorcycles. Either you love it or you hate it. So because of the way this motorcycle has been sprung, the handling is just superb. You can just tip it into a corner, very responsive, tires offer excellent grip as well, and it is just such a fantastic bike to ride around corners. But the ride quality, oh my goodness, I have no words for it. I mean, I feel sorry for the people who actually go riding on this bike. Tops 50 kilometers at one go. Maybe 100, not more than that. Not more than that if you love yourself even like a little bit. You can see the switch gear, right? Very complex switch gear, which I will talk about it once I stop. Jiggly, 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 jiggly. I see open road, I smile under the helmet, I be in second gear, and I whack open the throttle. But the fueling is absolutely ridiculously bad. I mean, the on-off throttle transitions are pathetic. I mean, they are rubbish. When you close throttle and you open throttle, you're like, you know, you're all over, jiggling all over the place. You're like dancing. And that's the kind of throttle response this motorcycle has, sadly. And in the city, it becomes worse. Holy moly, the kind of wind blast is massive. But oh my god, I'm almost off the motorcycle. That's the kind of bad ride quality it has. I mean, it just like pushes you off the bike, but on upshift, on full fire, the sound is just mind-blowing, especially the way it upshifts. So like, let me get to third, there we go, rev it and hut. That's how it goes, tuck. So it gives you a reassuring feel that yeah, you have got your next gear spot on. So that's a very nice thing about this motorcycle. See, I hope you guys can hear me because there's just too much wind blast. Brakes are very nice. I love the brakes. Somehow all these super bikes are coming up with great brakes, and obviously they have to, because with great power comes great responsibility. And every time I go over a bump, I question myself, why am I even riding this motorcycle? Third gear, and there it lifts. Red line at 171 kilometers per hour in third gear. It goes like an absolute mad machine. The throttle response is love at whatever site. Crazy. This is a crazy motorcycle. I absolutely love the madness it possesses, but I can't keep up with the ride quality. I cannot do this to myself. Every time a bump comes, either I fly or, you know, my body works as a shock absorber. I think I myself have to, you know, put a monoshock under my own ass, because this one clearly is not doing the job. So I saw a good patch of road. Let's give it the beans there. So you can see how snatchy it is. Leave the throttle, it snatches. Just very snatchy. See, it just wants to jump, and I am scared that if I give it the complete beans, it will throw me off the bike. This bike cannot be launched so easily, you know. You either need balls of steel, or you need, well, I don't know what you need. You need a Valentino Rossi on this bike. That's what you need probably, because I am just lost for skills. But I'm still going to open the throttle. How can a front end of a 800cc motorcycle lift at 150 kilometers per hour? I don't understand. and it has a shift light which blinks here. Honestly, I can't see the shift light because I'm just too busy saving myself from flying away. Here, let's use the quick shifter, downshift to second, and let's whack open the throttle, shall we? Whoopsie! The levers on this bike is absolutely, out of place. The brake lever, you have to actually try and find it. Obviously, once you get used to it, it's a different thing, but this bike is far from being practical and gives a mileage of 12 to 15 kilometers per liter. Woo! The wind in your helmet, I don't know from where it is coming. Honestly, I think this helmet is sealed from most places, but the Brutale 800 is mad machine. You mad little beast. Woo! I think I just need to stop on the side now because, oh my lord, this is a mad motorcycle. And I came into neutral. Oh yes, I did. Wow. Neutral. Yes. So basically this is the switch gear, and as you can see, this is the engine map. You press this button once, it'll change sport. Now you can turn it into custom, you can turn it into normal, you can turn it into rain, you can get it back to sport. Come on, turn. Now it's there. Now after 3-4 seconds it will confirm. This is for the lights. This is to set the menu, go through the menu. So setting, traction control, current lap, best lap, ABS settings, quick shifter on, clock you want to set, total kilometers trip, you can go through first trip and second trip from there. And this is for the light. This is for the horn. I must tell you, the horn placement is very weird. Here is usually the indicator. They put the horn here, and the horn is not pressed, it is the other way. So that's kind of weird, but the design is supreme. The key, look at the key of this bike. Isn't it an amazing looking key? And put the side stand down. So the cluster could have been better, but just look at this motorcycle. Single sided swing arm, piano black finish on the wheels, and these exhausts, the cut exhaust, the 3 exhausts, they look so beautiful. Even the attention to detail on this bike, well, it deserves an applause. Look at this. There's something going under the seat. Maybe design, maybe aerodynamics, or whatever it is. I don't care, because in spite of this, I don't stay on the bike at higher speeds. I'm just kind of flying. And the engine, this is the heart of the matter. It's a trellis frame. This bike looks absolutely smashing. So this is how they've placed the rear indicators. There's water inside it. So this is the mud guard. So you can't get rid of this mud guard to expose the tire completely. That's the light over there. MV written there. Pillion seat is not for anybody, at least not for human beings. Maybe you can put mosquitoes over there. Large chunky tank. Attention to detail is just on another level on this motorcycle. Nissan calipers, and not adjustable. They're actually adjustable from here, but not easy to do. This is the headlight of the bike. Looks sexy, doesn't it? The tire also looks very nice. Front tire also looks quite chunky. Chunky forks, I've already told you what brand and everything. And overall, if you see, this motorcycle definitely is one of the sexiest middleweight machines right now. However, is it worth buying? Well, that's a good question, and thankfully I have a good answer for that. So let's get riding once again. कैमरा है, हाँ.
गाड़ी देखने के लिए कितने हजार का है?
ये 20 लाख का.
20 लाख का?
हाँ.
20 लाख की गाड़ी है?
हाँ, 20 लाख की.
टायर होता है. टायर काट से नहीं है. Obviously, when you ride such motorcycles and people are excited, you cannot launch this bike on sport mode. It will just flip. It will just flip. Anyways, let's time to go. I love the kickback from the exhaust on upshifts. It's just something else only. Here we go once again. I love this engine. I think I should take this engine, put it in a street triple, and then ride it. Obviously the street triples engine is also an absolute bomb, but is this bike worth buying? Well, first and foremost, if you are an MV fan, this question doesn't even need an answer. But if you are another person who think of buying a middleweight motorcycle, thinking, should I spend those extra 10 lakhs over a street triple S to buy an MV Agusta Brutale 800? My answer would be no. Don't be so stupid. I mean, we all do stupidity, but not this kind. Because for 20 lakh rupees, this bike doesn't seem worth it. It's a CBU. Kinetic is also putting a super premium on this brand, and that's the reason why it costs so much. It is definitely not worth rupees 20 lakhs, but it costs rupees 20 lakhs. And you can get 2 street triples for that price. Obviously, you can't ride 2 at one time, so you might as well save those 10 lakhs and invest it somewhere. And then once you're done with the street triple, then probably you can go and buy a liter class naked motorcycle or a Kawasaki Ninja H2 or H2R. Because first and foremost, the biggest issue is not only the price, the fact that MV's service and sales network is very small and slim in India, and this motorcycle itself isn't very practical for our roads. The ride quality is as stiff as it gets, and the seating position is awkward. You sit in a way where your back is taking a toll all the time. So all these things factored in, I would say that it's better to get the triple S or the triple RS even for that fact, because still you'll save rupees 7 lakhs, and the RS has almost everything you would ever need in a middleweight naked motorcycle. Yeah, probably bragging rights won't be there. It pushes you back like, oh my goodness, and then you encounter a bump and you're like, what just happened? Anyways guys, this is my review of the MV Agusta Brutale 800, and I hope you liked it. I certainly enjoyed riding this motorcycle, but honestly I was shit scared because of the ride quality being so freaking stiff. Well, the power being so snatchy that I really couldn't open it up the way I thought I would, because every time I open the throttle and I hit a bump, it just wants me to jump off the bike. That's the kind of stiffness I'm talking about. So if you like this video, do make sure you give it the thumbs up. That's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. Meanwhile, I'm just going to stop, go to McDonald's, eat some food, relax for a bit, and maybe even get a massage. Bye.